to my channel. Today I am going to have a spiritual, mindful day, and I decided it would be fun to take you along with me and show you what I get up to on a spiritual day. So I am a master's university student, so my weeks tend to be quite intense, and I like to use the weekends to just basically come back into alignment with the divine. The divine is in all of us, and it is obviously available to us in all moments, but sometimes when we get super caught up in the busyness of a schedule or the busyness of daily life, we might forget. We might forget to tune back into our bodies, to come back into alignment, to tune in and listen to what you need. Often when we're super busy rushing from one task to the next, we forget to really take time out of our day to honestly just spend time in stillness. So this video is basically going to be a little bit about how I reset, especially when I've been super overwhelmed and anxious with my university work, how I come back into alignment and back in touch with my spirituality. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I'm sending you lots of love. So step one of how to come back in touch with yourself and have a spiritual day is, of course, spend time in nature. Nature is so rejuvenating. It's so rejuvenating and nourishing for the spirit. So I am going to get a blanket and I'm going to have a little picnic in nature and just earth and ground, and really enjoy the outdoors and enjoy the fresh air. So that is my tip number one. Writer, and so anything that has to do with writing and creativity is definitely how I find I best come back into alignment. And I think journaling is such an awesome tool to use as a way to help you cope with the daily struggles of life, because you can really use your journal as a self-discovery tool, and I think that that's one of the most amazing parts of journaling. And so if you have a lot going on, for example, you can use your journal as a way to uncover the root of those feelings. If you're feeling a bit down and you'd like to have a gratitude practice, you can use your journal as a way for you to write things that you're grateful about. You can also use your journal as a tool for affirmation, a tool for manifestation. It's such a wonderful tool that you can utilize for honestly anything. Journaling is one of the ways in which I come back into alignment and form a connection with the divine. Something that I like to do is channeled writing, and so I might have a question or something that I want to unpack, and I'll set my intention and I'll just begin channeling the answers, and I really just trust the flow of the universe and trust that through my writing I'll be guided to the solutions or to the actions, or just honestly guided to a state of peace and tranquility. And so journaling really helps me, writing really helps me. I got myself a kombucha. This is African Rose. I absolutely love kombucha. So I got myself a kombucha from the shop, and I like to drink my kombucha out of a wine glass because it makes me feel super fancy. So I'm going to finish up my journaling, and I'm also going to read a little bit. I'm reading such an awesome book. I think it's called The Little Shop of Found Things or The Little Shop of Lost Things. I'm not so sure what the name is, but I am going to read my book, finish writing, and drink my delicious cup of kombucha. I'm so keen for it. My next favorite tip for spiritual alignment is oracle cards or tarot, whatever resonates with you. I'm going to set them up right now, and I'm going to pull a couple of cards. I love doing this. It's amazing how whatever you're feeling on the inside can be reflected through the cards, and the cards are such wonderful oracles. I just did my oracle cards. I have the Angels and Ancestors card deck and the Moonology card deck. I really enjoy pulling oracle cards. Sometimes it's nice just to see yourself reflected in the cards, or also they might prompt you to think about things that you haven't thought about before. They're also nice journaling prompts. You can also think to yourself what they mean. You don't always have to follow the book, especially if what's written in the book doesn't resonate with you. And I often like to do that, like maybe the picture and the intention on the card resonates with me more than the meaning in the book. And so I'll just use the cards as a prompt for me to think further about how it's showing up in my own life. my next way that I like to realign and come back into tune with myself and with my body is by making myself a nourishing meal. So I am going to make my usual chickpea curry, chickpea butternut curry. I'm so excited for it. It is about 4 o'clock and I'm gonna get started on making that, and then while everything's boiling and cooking, I'm going to do some meditation. That is obviously such a wonderful way of coming back into alignment with yourself. So I'm gonna clean this all up, and then I am going to make myself some food. Yeah, it's been a really nice day just coming back in touch with myself, and sometimes when I'm super deep in my university work, I can get really stressed and kind of forget about these helpful techniques. They really just make you feel so nourished from the inside out, and they also make you feel rested. I've been having a lot of trouble with my energy and just feeling so depleted, and I mean, it makes sense. My semester is coming to a finish. The first year of my first semester is coming to a finish, so it makes sense that I'm so tired, and obviously my work is intense being a master's student. But yeah, these kinds of practices really make me feel calm, and they make me feel less burnt out, because sometimes when you're burnt out, all you want to do is sit in front of the TV and like have that kind of instant rest. But I find that the times when I feel the most truly rested are the times when I actually take the time to do things that fill me up, and then that actually makes me feel much more rested than just sitting and watching Netflix. So these kinds of practices help me feel calm, they bring me back into balance, they bring me back into a state of alignment, and they also help me when I feel super burnt out and super anxious and stressed about university. Before I get started on my dinner for tonight, I wanted to say that while I cook, I like to listen to a podcast. So at the moment, I'm listening to Natalia Benson's podcast. She has such amazing episodes all about astrology, human design, and tarot, and various other spiritual things. So if you're looking for a spiritual podcast recommendation, I highly recommend listening to Natalia Benson. So I'm going to start listening and start preparing my dinner.
I think these are just gonna literal flow into each other. The next one is that number 3. On 19, I had what I like to call a spiritual awakening, where I just came to understand that there was so
So I'm just frying up the garlic, the ginger, and the onions. These are the spices that I added. I ran out of coriander, so I just added some coriander seeds. Now I am just mixing that up. I also rinsed the chickpeas, and now I'm just going to mix the spices with the onion, the garlic, the chickpeas, and then I just let this simmer on low heat just for a couple of minutes, and then I will add the veggies, some water, some coconut milk and coconut cream, and then I'll add the curry powder, and then I let that cook until the veggies are ready.
So that's why I teach conscious business.
My curry is being cooked now, and I said earlier that I was going to do a little bit of movement and meditation. I don't really feel like doing an asana practice. Maybe once I put my workout clothes on, I will feel like doing an asana practice, but I think for now I'm probably just going to do some journaling. My body's been feeling really tired, and I know sometimes when you're in a slump, the best thing that you could do for yourself is to move, but I don't know if that's really what I want to do, so I think I'm just going to put on my workout clothes, see how I feel, and maybe do a little bit of stretching, and I'll definitely do some meditation just to ground and center myself. So here I am in my room. I have this amber glow from the salt lamp, and I am going to do my anxiety workbook. I'm actually feeling really anxious right now, and I wasn't going to film, but then I realized, well, that is life, you know. I am doing all these spiritual things as a way for me to cope with the stuff that comes up with my anxiety. And yeah, I'm feeling really anxious right now. I have a friend's birthday tomorrow, and I'm just feeling really stressed about it. I'm feeling really anxious to go and see a lot of people and to like leave the house in that sense, like for a social thing. Then afterwards I'm dropping my partner off at the airport, so I'm just feeling stressed because it's Sunday tomorrow, and I'm nervous because I obviously have a lot of work to do on Monday, and I feel like I'm a bit out of my calm Sunday. I'll be out of my calm Sunday routine, just because it will be a jam-packed day, and I'm nervous about getting home late, and I'm also nervous about not sleeping well tonight, knowing that I have to wake up to go to the birthday. And then I'm anxious about not sleeping well tomorrow night because my schedule will be thrown off and I'll be out all day and then still going to the airport at night. And yeah, I'm just spiraling a little bit and feeling kind of anxious. But I think that just is what anxiety is. It's like you experience the same thing twice, and often the events you experience in your head are much worse than the actual events in reality. And I know that, you know, I will be in control. I can leave whenever I want. If I feel anxious, I can go home. I also know that at the end of the day, I will probably sleep okay. Everything will be fine. All my work will be finished. You know, I will handle Monday. Everything will be fine. It's more just like the stress of it, and I think it's also like the stress of a new week starting and then feeling like I'm not in control or organized before the week starts. So yeah, I'm feeling a little bit anxious about that, so I'm going to do a little bit of journaling. I'm doing this anxiety workbook. It's like a 7-week course to help with anxiety, and I'm gonna see if it works. If it does work, I'll review it and recommend it. And yeah, I mean, this is just everyday life, and You can do all the spiritual things, and I recommend all the spiritual things because this is what helps me cope. Like, if I didn't have this day today, I would have been much worse. And I know myself because I've improved. My anxiety has improved so much from where it used to be before I had all of these practices. So I know that I'm in a much better place, and I can also kind of differentiate between what is anxiety versus what are real things that are in my control versus like what is just an anxious thought that is probably not even going to happen. But then I can also do things that will help myself. But basically, yeah, I feel like I'm in a much better place as opposed to where I used to be in terms of anxiety. And so I know that all these spiritual things and all the mindfulness stuff that I do is really helpful. And so I feel like I'm still in control, but I just want to be transparent and honest because I am still dealing with it and I'm still working through it. And these are just kind of the tools that I am using to help me.